sometimes people say thank you for your service. It's some military professionals can see it as a platitude or just like a an awkward thing to say when they don't know what else to say. Is that because I never even thought about that before? It never even occurred to me that saying that could be seen as like, you don't even know what I've been through, and you thank you for saying that, but also kind of fuck off, like whatever. Like, you don't. I did it for reasons other than I didn't. There's no way you could go overseas and fight that aggressively and that put yourself in those kinds of situations just so that people would say thank you for your service or buy you a beer when you're at a
like
restaurant.
When I get asked, oh, did you wanna or try to win the Purple Heart? Fuck, nah, not really. No. That was not definitely an objective of mine, but and it's funny because I had never thought of it that way either. But as I've gone through the years, different events, hanging out and meet and greets with amazing service members and veterans of this country, I learned that through talking to them, and I can see both sides of it.
Yeah,
it might seem like to some veterans, especially the ones that might struggle with people not understanding what they've been through or where they're coming from, it might seem like more of a throwaway, hollow line that you just say because you don't know what else to say. I've always taken it, I'm very appreciative that person didn't have to take the time out of their day to come over and tell me that.
But it's pretty obvious in the book, even before you get into the military, that if anybody was a candidate for a Medal of Honor, it was going to be you, because of the the approach that you took to joining the Marines. You weren't just from what I can tell in the book, great parents, by the way. Right? Like, I don't know them, obviously, but it seems like, you love them and you think they did a good job. It's obvious that they did a good job, because if a kid can say that and write it so eloquently in a book, the love and unconditional support that they got from their parents, usually you're the hardest critics of the parents are the people that were raised by them, right? So that's how good of a job they did. So if anybody was going to be a Medal of Honor recipient and do what you did, which we'll get to, it seemed like it was going to be you. Just because I feel like, I don't want to take inventory of the entire military's reasons for joining the military, but it's obvious that you joined for what I would consider to be the right reasons. As an outsider, knowing nothing. Obviously, if you don't have the money to go to school, or your options look bleak in the military, or you're raised in a military family, you weren't raised in a military family. You just had this thing inside you that you wanted to honor, and you did it, which is not, it seems like of course to you, right? You say, yeah, of course I honored it. A lot of people don't. They know what they're supposed to be doing in their life, but they can't go for it because of whatever fear or trepidation or insecurity, low self-esteem. They don't have the insides to say, this is what I feel called to do, so this is what I'm going to do. They feel the calling, but they ignore it. And this is not even a military thing. This is like, if you feel called to be, of service in any aspect of life that's not dangerous. Military is super dangerous, but you went forward with that anyway. And your parents turning the corner on the support was, it was a lot to read. I had to stop multiple times during the book, especially when you talked about being 4 years old and losing a sibling in a miscarriage. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know, man. There's a lot going on in this book.
Yeah, well, thank you for that. And
how do you remember that at 4 years old? You must have been like a real bright kid.
Well, just knowing, and through this book process, it was amazing because I learned not only some things like that about my family and the hardships my parents faced before I even really grew up. My brothers came around, but yeah, man, like I'm very proud that I did what I did. I served when I had the opportunity, and I took advantage, and I did take that step and kind of commit and make that move to the military. And when the grenade was thrown, I'm proud of raising my right hand, and I'm forever grateful that somehow, because of my raising and my parents just loving me and so many amazing people supporting me through my life and building me and shaping me and molding me into the person that I've become, I'm just forever grateful that I was able to step up in a time of need when my best friend and my fellow Marine needed me.